10 signs your sibling is a narcissist. Number 1 will shock you. My story. Throughout my childhood and as an adult, I was always trying to seek the approval and love of my sister. Our relationship was not your typical sibling rivalry. It was a love-hate relationship. I loved her and she hated me. I don't know what I ever did to make her hate me so much. I never thought much about why she mistreated me. I would try harder to get her to love me. My sister was very manipulative and cunning in getting me to do things that made me look like a bad person to others. She knew that I was trying to win her love and that I would do anything she asked of me. She would be nice to me in exchange for getting me to do something bad or unethical. I can recall a time when I was 14 years old. She showed me a picture of a man she said was my father. I never knew my father, and she knew that by giving me a picture of him, she could get me to do something bad. She gave me the picture because she wanted me to call her ex-boyfriend's job and make a false complaint about him, to get him fired. After giving me the picture, she said to me, "Now that's my sister." I never did make that call. I don't know why I never thought twice about why she had a picture of my dad. It wasn't until 39 years later I found out that the picture she gave me was not a picture of my dad. I carried that picture around with me for 39 years, looking at it often. Even though he abandoned me, I would kiss the picture and ask God to watch over him. I don't know who the man was in the picture. To those who are dealing with a narcissistic sibling, I know what you're going through. I tell part of my life because I want you to know that you are not alone. I've been there too. I want you to know that I have overcome this type of trauma, and you can too. Before we start the video, let's take a moment to reflect on how wonderful and brave you are with a short affirmation. I want you to clear your mind and take a deep breath. Then release it. Now, with feeling, tell yourself, I choose to be loved, even in those few moments I mistakenly feel like I don't deserve it. I only live to impress and be proud of myself. I am not willing to sacrifice myself for those who do not deserve it. Now give yourself a big hug and say to yourself, I love you. Let's begin your journey to positive habits. It all starts with you. Enjoy the video. Does dealing with your sibling feel draining or overwhelming? Are there moments when you feel you are in the shadows, overshadowed by their larger-than-life personality? If these questions strike a chord, you might be dealing with a narcissistic sibling. To be sure of this, here are the 10 telltale signs that show you have narcissistic siblings. Sign 10. Center of attention. Do you often notice that your sibling always finds a way to be the center of attention? Regardless of the occasion, whether it is a family gathering or a casual dinner, they are always in the spotlight. They spin tales that captivate, exaggerate their achievements, or subtly shift the focus of conversations toward themselves. This need to constantly be at the center is not just about enjoying the limelight. For a narcissistic sibling, it is an insatiable craving for validation and admiration from others. It is an essential part of their self-worth, and they will often go to great lengths to maintain it. This constant attention-seeking can often leave others feeling overlooked, creating an imbalance that strains the sibling bond. Sign 9. Lack of emotional empathy. Emotional empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It is a vital component of healthy relationships. However, if your sibling consistently shows a lack of empathy, it could be a sign of narcissism. They might dismiss your emotions, seem indifferent to your struggles, or even belittle your feelings. They are more focused on their own experiences, often failing to acknowledge or validate your emotional needs. This lack of empathy is more than just being emotionally distant. It is a disregard for your feelings and a failure to provide the emotional support that is expected in a sibling relationship. Sign 8. Entitlement. In a healthy relationship, respect and understanding of each other's boundaries are important. But with a narcissistic sibling, a profound sense of entitlement often overshadows these principles. They might act as if you owe them something, your time, resources, or constant attention, without feeling the need to reciprocate. This entitlement goes beyond simple sibling teasing. For example, They might constantly borrow your things without asking, or expect you to drop everything to cater to their needs, showing little regard for your personal space or schedule. If this behavior feels familiar, then it is likely more than typical sibling rivalry. It's an unhealthy dynamic that's stressful and draining. Sign 7. Not accepting weakness. It is normal for people to feel uncomfortable acknowledging their weaknesses or mistakes, but narcissistic siblings often take this to an extreme. They struggle to accept responsibility for their actions, constantly deflecting blame or criticism onto others. They may also reject any feedback that challenges their self-perceived superiority, dismissing it as inaccurate or irrelevant. Take, for example, a scenario where your sibling may have hurt your feelings with their harsh words. When confronted, instead of acknowledging their mistake, they may blame you for being too sensitive or even deny saying anything hurtful at all. This pattern of behavior isn't just about protecting their ego. It is a classic trait of narcissism, revealing an inability to accept personal flaws or failings. Sign 6. Taking advantage. When we think about siblings, the idea of sharing and looking out for each other often comes to mind. However, when dealing with a narcissistic sibling, this give and take dynamic can become a one-way street. It is if they are always in the driver's seat and they are not shy about taking advantage of you to fuel their journey. Imagine a common situation. You have a new gadget or a piece of clothing that you absolutely love. Without asking, your sibling decides they want to use it or wear it. When confronted, they may dismiss your displeasure or simply show no regard for your feelings, even if their actions could harm or inconvenience you. They view your possessions as their own and your time is free to take. Sounds familiar? It is not a pleasant experience, and it certainly is not fair to you. Sign 5. Believes being special. A sibling relationship is a special bond, but when one sibling considers themselves extra special or superior, it can become challenging. Narcissistic siblings often harbor a deep-seated belief that they are unique or exceptional compared to others. You might notice this trait when they demand special treatment or privileges that they have not earned or don't deserve. Take, for example, family gatherings. They might expect to be served first at the dinner table or believe they should be exempt from helping out because their time is too valuable. Or when it comes to decision-making, whether it is about a family business or planning a parent's anniversary party, they may insist on having the final say, assuming their opinions are inherently superior. This sense of entitlement, fueled by their belief in their special status, can create a lot of tension and resentment. Sign 4. Talking about themselves all the time. Conversations with siblings can be about anything under the sun, a blend of sharing, listening, and understanding. However, with narcissistic siblings, the conversation typically revolves around them. It is as if they are holding a microphone that is always turned towards their voice, drowning out yours. For example, you might be excited to share news about your promotion at work, but before you can even finish your sentence, they will interrupt to share their recent work accomplishment, shifting the spotlight back to them. Or perhaps when you are seeking advice or support for a problem, they quickly turn it into discussion about their own issues. This consistent self-focus makes them more of a talker and less of a listener, leaving you feeling like your thoughts and feelings are being overlooked. Sign 3. Envy towards others. Sibling rivalry is often about friendly competition, but with the narcissistic sibling, the competition can take an unhealthy turn fueled by envy. However, this envy is not just about comparing toys in childhood. It also goes into adulthood and extends to others who possess what they desire: wealth, power, or status. Consider a situation where a friend shares about a new job or a significant achievement. Instead of feeling happy for them, your sibling might immediately express their envy or frustration, turning it into a comparison game. They might belittle the friend's accomplishment or start highlighting their own successes, trying to overshadow others. Similarly, they may believe that others are envious of them and perceive every situation as a competition. They might constantly question the authenticity of other people's achievements or belittle their accomplishments, stating that they could have easily done better. Or they might display a sense of bitterness or resentment when others around them succeed or have good fortune. Sign 2. Obsession with looks and appearances. Have you ever felt that your sibling pays an excessive amount of attention to how they look? Is their appearance often a major focus of their conversations? This could be a sign that you have a narcissistic sibling. An obsession with looks and appearance is a common trait among narcissistic individuals. They frequently strive to maintain an image of perfection to the outside world. This habit often stems from their underlying need for validation and admiration. Your sibling might spend an excessive amount of time perfecting their outfits, grooming themselves, or discussing their fitness regime. This obsession can manifest itself in their conversations. They might frequently comment on their own appearance or the appearance of others. Sign 1. Gaslighting and manipulation. The last person you would expect to manipulate or gaslight you would be your sibling, right? However, if you frequently question your own judgment or reality around them, you might be dealing with a narcissistic sibling. Gaslighting and manipulation are powerful tools in the narcissist arsenal. These behaviors are not about occasional pranks or harmless teasing that are normal in sibling relationships. It is about making you doubt your own perceptions or memories, steering you to their version of reality. Let me give you an example. Your sibling might downplay your feelings about an argument you had, insisting it never happened, or was not as serious as you remember. They might twist words or situations to their advantage, making you feel at fault, even when you are not. These manipulative tactics can leave you feeling confused and disoriented. It is crucial to trust your own feelings and experiences, even if your sibling suggests otherwise. If you found yourself ticking off these signs, it might mean you have a narcissistic sibling. But it's important to remember that recognizing this does not mean you have to bear the brunt of their behavior or compromise your mental health. You might be asking yourself, what do I do now? In my next video, we will explore how to handle this challenging relationship, protect your mental health, and recognize when it's time to let go. Have you experienced having a narcissistic sibling? Your story might provide strength to others in a similar situation. Do you have any personal tips or advice to share? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember, you are not alone in this. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on loving yourself with positive habits from the Habitude Project. Stay positive and never give up on yourself. Thank you so much for watching.